new types of technology, but I'm looking for this, and I'm looking for a flash drive, so there's a nice mad scramble before every presentation. That's the perfect thing to wake you up at 7:45 in the morning. Now, you might be wondering why a 12-year-old is talking to you about a kid's eye view of an innovative classroom and what my credentials are. So I can outline some of them. I published my first book, Flying Fingers, Master the Tools of Learning Through the Joy of Writing, at the age of 7 in 2005. And more recently, I published a second book called Dancing Fingers, Selected Poems and Writing Inspirations from two sisters. My older sister, Adriana, co-authored this with me, and it has quite a few of our poems. And then my third book is Yawn in the Skies, which I have just finished doing final edits of. It's been out in advanced copy form. So, as far as teaching goes, I've taught over 350 schools and classrooms. After I published my first book, Flying Fingers, I went to classrooms really around the world and also through video conferencing to connect with them and talk about the importance of reading and writing. Now, through video conferencing and school visits, I've been able to go to Dubai, England, Canada, Costa Rica, China, and Vietnam. And as you might guess, I do a lot of traveling. This is my second time being in Florida. The first time I don't remember it that well, so I'm glad to refresh my memory. And as far as traveling goes, I've been to England, France, Italy, China, Vietnam, Canada, and 21 states, including Florida. So raise your hand if you are from Florida. I want to see how many of you. Wow! Like a round of applause for the lovely state of Florida. Thank you. So now another thing with technology, if you can be sure to tweet my session. Do any of you have a Twitter-enabled device with you, meaning a cell phone or a laptop? Raise your hand. Great. So if you can be sure to tweet my session, if I see you looking down and texting on your cell phone furiously, I'll assume that that means you're tweeting about it. I will also be live streaming this on ustream.tv. That's what's happening right now, and you can watch some of my other videos there. At the end of my presentation, I will be raffling off 1 copy of Dancing Fingers, 2 copies of Flying Fingers, and 1 free interactive video conferencing session with your school. However, I will be quizzing you on some of the information you just heard in Oregon.
But we're twittering too.
Okay, I want to keep you all busy. Now, stand up and cheer if there's anybody from Washington State here. Anyone? Besides myself? Oh, and my mom, obviously. Yay! Okay. Well, yeah, I was born in Oregon, so.
And that's where I'm from now.
Oh, great! Yeah, that's what happened. All right, so I come from a little part of Washington State called Redmond, which is like somewhere over here. I think that's like Washington, so I'm like somewhere in that area. As you can see, I'm a lot better with geography when the map has labels on it. Now, I'm starting to realize why they call this keynote eye-opening. Any speech that happens at 7:45 in the morning makes you realize how hard opening eyes can be, especially your own. Now, I come from Washington State, as I told you, gloriously wet and coastal and lovely. It's a little bit like Florida, actually. And it's also 3 hours earlier than Florida as far as time goes, so it's really like 4:45 in the morning for me right now. And this is me at 4 o'clock. If that's really what I look like when I'm sleeping, I'm hoping not. So why did I come all the way from lovely Washington State to lovely Florida? Although I may not be able to literally crank your eyes open, although I would love to try, I hope to at least accomplish it figuratively, which I think is the intended meaning anyway. So I hope to open up your eyes to a kid's eye view of learning. How exactly did I come up with that title? Well, besides the obvious, the fact that I'm a kid, I also go to a lot of education conferences, and I notice that it's usually adults who monopolize the airtime. And so I wanted to bring another dimension, another view to some of these conferences, because learning and teaching is, after all, the students' best interests, and you guys work so hard for students like me, I thought maybe it's time that I start working a little for you. So I would like to give thanks to Lynn Buchanan, Executive Program Director here at FETC, for allowing me to present today. Now, you may be thinking, why is a kid's eye view so important? And I want to ask you this. One reason I'm asking this is to get you warmed up with your voting devices, the active expressions, but I also want to hear, why are you here? It's interesting for me to see, why are you here? I'm going to start a vote And I want you to tell me, using those voting devices, text in maybe 1 or 2 reasons, you could just use 1 or 2 words. Why are you here? Why is Kids Eye View important to you?